December 11, 1978, at JFK Airport in New York. A shipment of $5 million in cash and jewels was scheduled to leave Lufthansa's cargo terminal. That night, a group of men pulled off what was, at the time, the biggest cash robbery in U.S. history. Most of the money was never recovered, and many of the people connected to the heist would die under mysterious circumstances. Organized crime had been eyeing these shipments for years, knowing that a single successful score could set them up for life. The Mafia had deep, entangled roots in New York and saw a golden opportunity right on their doorstep. Many thieves in their network had inside information on schedules, security measures, and the day-to-day cargo routines at JFK. The heist wasn't a random smash and grab robbery, it was a meticulously planned operation, years in the making. The plan was a masterclass in criminal precision. The robbers waited until the quiet hours of the evening, when the massive terminal slowed down and the skeleton crew on duty was less alert. Using their insider knowledge, they bypassed security with practiced ease and entered the cargo terminal. Once inside, it was a race against the clock. They located the high-value vault and went to work. Cash and jewels totaling $5 million were stolen in just minutes. To put that in perspective, that's over $20 million in today's money. No guards were harmed during the operation, a deliberate choice to avoid escalating the crime to murder and bringing down more heat. The operation was precise, professional, and chillingly silent. By the time authorities discovered the theft, the thieves had vanished without a trace. Much of the loot would never be recovered, disappearing into the city's shadowy underbelly. The news of the heist sent shockwaves through law enforcement. The police launched one of the largest and most complex investigations in U.S. history. The FBI and NYPD threw everything they had at the case. Several Mafia-connected suspects were quickly identified and questioned. Some lower-level men, pawns in the grand scheme, were eventually arrested and convicted for their minor roles. But many of the key players, the masterminds, and the main beneficiaries, skillfully avoided justice. The investigation was complicated by a wall of fear, intimidation, and the infamous Mafia code of silence omerta. Witnesses were too scared to talk, and those who might have considered it were given stark reminders of the consequences. Some suspects were murdered or simply disappeared, leaving frustrating gaps in the official story and silencing potential testimony forever. At the center of this web of crime and intrigue, one name is often whispered: Jimmy the Gent Burke. A reputed and feared mobster, Burke was a high-ranking associate of the Lucchese crime family. He is widely considered the mastermind behind the entire operation. Burke was known for his charm, his intelligence, and his absolute ruthlessness. He orchestrated the heist, but, crucially, did not participate in the robbery itself, giving himself a layer of plausible deniability. In the years following the heist, many in his inner circle met violent, suspicious ends. The getaway driver, the inside man, the money counters, one by one, they started turning up dead. It's believed Burke systematically eliminated them to tie up loose ends and keep a larger share of the money for himself. The stolen cash and jewels vanished into the underworld, fueling endless speculation. Rumors persisted that millions were buried in secret locations, hidden in plain sight, or laundered through legitimate businesses like bars and restaurants. Yet, decades later, investigators have never recovered most of the fortune. The Lufthansa heist didn't just stay in the crime blotters. It exploded into popular culture. Its audacity and the larger-than-life characters involved inspired the famous 1990 Martin Scorsese movie, Goodfellas. The film immortalized the brazen nature of the crime and the paranoid, violent aftermath, turning the story into a modern legend. the heist remains a powerful symbol of the reach and power of organized crime in New York during the 1970s. A time when the Mafia seemed untouchable. The story serves as a stark reminder of how inside knowledge and meticulous planning can make even the most secure operations vulnerable. The story is not just about stolen money, it's about the corrosive nature of greed, the inevitability of betrayal, and the deadly consequences that follow when you dance with the devil. Even after all these years, the case is riddled with unanswered questions. Who really got away with the majority of the $5 million? Which of the many murders in the years that followed were directly linked to covering up the heist? Were there accomplices, perhaps even inside law enforcement or the airline itself, who were never identified? And the biggest question of all, could modern investigative techniques, like DNA analysis or digital forensics, finally uncover the missing cash and jewels? Every clue that has been uncovered over the years seems to raise more questions than answers. The Lufthansa heist remains one of America's most legendary and tantalizing unsolved crimes, a puzzle with most of its pieces still missing. The heist reshaped how law enforcement approached organized crime investigations, forcing them to adapt to the sophistication of modern mobsters. Some small measure of justice was served, but most of the loot remains lost to history, a phantom fortune that has haunted investigators for over 40 years. And decades later, the story continues to fascinate, terrify, and mystify true crime fans worldwide, a testament to its enduring power. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as fascinating as we did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world's most compelling crimes. See you next time.